So,
One face entered. Your top edge.
why am I making a YouTube video about Humanware?
Your left edge.
Well, the reason why is because Humanware is lazy.
Your top edge.
And what a shame. I saw it coming. I'm not trying to be like the evil chocolate cookie or anything, but one thing I will say is when companies stop doing what they say they're gonna do, it poses a problem.
One face entered.
Why am I angry and frustrated with Humanware? Because I saw it coming years ago. And I know some YouTubers are gonna get angry about me saying this,
Your top edge.
but Humanware is now a joke.
Centered.
What I mean by a joke is, I'm about to show you. Or, you'll hear it.
Welcome to Victor Reader.
Movies.
File. Offline bookshelf. Text files. 15.
Graham.
10.
History of the Vic.
11.
Humanware's Humanware.
Beginning of book.
Humanware has been around since 1988. Humanware has kept up a consistent cycle of innovative product releases throughout their 35 years of service to the blind and low vision communities. Humanware used to consistently relay information to their customer base in a timely and effective and efficient manner until 2020. Humanware hasn't continued the tradition of a reliable cycle of product updates for their blindness products released between the years of 2020 to 2023. It's obvious that Humanware isn't what it once was in terms of how software updates and information was released to the customer base. A prime example is the Victor Reader Trek and the Braille Note Touch Plus. The last time those devices received any updates to their software was 2020. The last known version of the software for the Victor Reader Trek still is version the 2nd of January 2033. I expected that Humanware would release another update with new voices and features to better enhance the user experience. However, it remains obviously clear that Humanware doesn't want to address the problem of no communication for almost 3 years, and then they come on the Victor Reader Stream and Humanware Information Podcast in 2022 to announce a new addition to the orientation and mobility portfolio of products. Humanware used to have a solid foundation throughout the early 2000s until new management took over multiple aspects of Humanware while ruining the user experience in the process. I've sent my fair share of emails to Humanware while trying to address the problem with the software updates to the Victor Reader Trek. I expect better from a company that has been around for 35 years serving the customer base that they've cultivated over 35 years. I've seen the past blindness product manager inform the customers of Humanware when a software update was going to be coming to their devices, so they wouldn't have to guess when their devices would notify them about a pending software update. It is not acceptable to continue to ignore frequent emails for information on the Victor Reader Trek updates. I just got yet another email with the Humanware standard response that involves a standard email message thanking you for reaching out to Humanware and a case number to a case that is opened on your behalf, and nothing gets done about it. Humanware now has more open cases due to the emails that I have sent them about my Victor Reader Trek not receiving software updates, with the exception of the Victor Reader Trek receiving map updates when necessary and needed to add more GPS information to the Here Maps database. I also noticed that the map updates are missing certain locations in the southeastern region of the U.S., including the state of Florida. There are a few locations in Florida that are missing from the Here Maps. I noticed that Humanware hasn't reached out to Here Maps to add more information to the maps for Florida and other states in the southeastern region of the U.S. This can pose a problem when users of the Victor Reader Trek are trying to get directions to the requested location, and the GPS states that the address is not valid. My friends have even agreed that Humanware has issues with communication among the list of other issues. Humanware has a long history of making promises that they cannot keep when it comes to software updates and new features for the Victor Reader Trek. In my opinion, a company that cannot keep promises to its customer base may as well just keep their mouth shut rather than promising updates and features that they said that they were going to release for 4 or 5 years, and the features and updates never came. FM radio and a new navigation method for the Victor Reader Trek never came, even though Greg Stilson said it would be coming to the Victor Reader Trek. That is not how software updates should be handled. It is highly unprofessional for a company that has been in operation for 35 years with a legacy that was built by people who knew what they were doing. Now there are people in those same positions as the people that came before them. The difference is that the people that now occupy those positions now have little to no experience on Victor Readers and software updates when it comes to customers receiving software updates to the devices that they are currently using on a daily basis. I think Humanware should figure out how to get their act together before an avalanche of problems and complaints buries Humanware in a hole so deep that they can't crawl out of, to the point where they are drowning in their own mistakes and blunders, to the point where there is no easy way to walk away from their problems that they created. I think that they will eventually realize that they have problems and issues that needs to be addressed so they can continue to remain in business and the global leader in assistive technology for the blind and low vision communities. It's a tragedy that Heinz Inc. is innovating while Humanware is falling behind and to the wayside year after year. It seems apparent that Humanware needs to wake up and realize that they are heading for a point of no return sooner rather than later if they keep going at the rate they are currently going. It still remains obvious that Humanware has a continued desire to willfully ignore the emails that I send them. I constantly get the Humanware standard response, and nothing changes about it. This can pose a problem when companies normally release software updates on a consistent basis to ensure that their products do not run into serious problems later on down the road. I've seen the aftermath of a house fire in 2015 on February the 18th. I've held the remains of one Victor Reader stream in my hands after the house fire in the afternoon of February the 18th, 2015. The only thing that remained was a charred and melted mess of metal and plastic where the plastic shell once was. I think that Humanware should have realized that they made a blunder that cannot be excused. Humanware has 7 years of open cases that they never resolved in a professional manner. It's still quite obvious that Humanware has neglected part of their obligations as the global leader in assistive technology for 35 years. I've seen it for nearly 3 years now. It needs to stop. Humanware needs to have their day of accountability. Humanware needs to realize that they are not going to continue to be the leader in the assistive technology industry for much longer if they continue their UN professional attitude towards the Victor Reader Trek and their way of handling software updates. Greg Stilson did software updates a service. He knew exactly what he was doing. Humanware got a product manager that seems like he has no idea what he is doing. It is beyond upsetting to me because I've been using Victor Reader products for 13 years, long before he set foot in Humanware. It's high time he figure out how to efficiently manage the products team under him, or Humanware should hire Greg Stilson to fill his previous position, because he's had real-world experience using the wide range of blindness products that Humanware has sold over my time of being a customer of Humanware when they were still in their heydays, and still knew how to release software updates and information about them and new product releases in a timely manner that dictated the professionalism was his top priority compared to the product manager that Humanware currently has. I find that the current actions of Humanware are a slap in the face to me and my friends. My friends and I are beyond the point of just being upset with Humanware. My friends and I don't have the same views on everything. However, when me and my friends have the same view on how badly Humanware is doing in the department of software updates, we can all agree on that fact that Humanware is becoming the Apple Inc. of the blindness community, and not in a good way. I'm referring to the process of how Humanware deals with software updates to their old blindness products. This is getting to the point where I'm ready to say enough is enough. I've obviously had enough of this pointless circle of sending emails and not getting a response that is adequate to answer the 7 years worth of emails that Humanware has never resolved, not even once. It's high time that Humanware take full responsibility for their own actions and blunders. I have had enough with their pointless responses that don't justify why they can't uphold their obligation to the customer base that they established 35 years earlier. This is getting past the point where it is out of hand and needs to be fully resolved in an effective and satisfactory way to ensure that future blindness product managers do not make the same mistakes that Humanware of 2020 started making and continues to make from 2020 all the way through 2023. It is a discourtesy for Humanware to sit there and not do anything to resolve the 7 years worth of emails that I've sent them from 2016 through 2023. Their product release cycle is complete trash. Humanware is known to release, update and forget, and then repeat the same cycle over and over again. I've officially had enough of Humanware's lazy attitude when it comes to product update management. I think that I'd rather take my chances with Times Inc. over Humanware any day. I find it unacceptable that Humanware would rather innovate the newer Victor Reader stream and leave the Trek in the dust. I was hoping that Humanware would listen to what I had to say. Eventually, I will no longer support Humanware because of their lame approach for updating older products that were previously released. I've been using Victor Readers for 13 years. I see this latest move to allow the newest Victor Reader stream to get new voices, while the Trek is left behind as another slap in the face. It's like Humanware is saying, if you have an older product, you're out of luck in terms of software updates. However, we will occasionally release map updates to your device while you're stuck on the same software version we upgraded your devices to 3 years ago, and we're not going to continue to issue software updates.
End of book.
Face entered. 12 minutes, 15 seconds.
Basically,
One face near top edge.
that's what I had to say about human.
Near top left edge.
And the part that frustrates me is
Near top edge.
you
Near top left edge.
that have Humanware products
Centered. Near top edge.
And here's what's crazy. They never saw it
One
coming.
face near right edge. Near top edge.
I mean, seriously, people. When are you gonna wake up and realize that Humanware is a joke? Even the blindness agencies still support them. Are you serious? I mean, this is a joke.
0 people.
Humanware is a joke. And the only thing Humanware knows
One face near top edge.
to do is release, update, forget, and then repeat.
Near top right edge. Near top edge.
I mean,
Centered.
doesn't that just frustrate you? I mean,
0 people.
seriously. I've been using Victor Readers for 13 years, and that is just upsetting. To tell you the truth, when I ask DBS
One face near top edge.
for a note taker, I will definitely say it will not be from Humanware. That's for sure, because of what they did with their Braille Note Touch. And yes, my Victor Reader Trek even told you. 3 years ago is when they last updated it. And you know what? I hope that Gallagher
One face near top edge.
123 eventually wakes up one day and realizes that Humanware is a failure. Yes, in the early 2000s, it wasn't like that. But in 2020, the last time the Victor Check ever got an update, that's
Your top
when
left
it
edge.
started becoming a failure.
0 people.
Do I care
One face entered.
if some YouTubers are upset? I don't care.
Near left edge.
Because
Your top
the
edge.
truth is, at
Centered.
the end of the day, when Humanware fails, you know what I'm going to say? I told you. Because I predict one day it's going to happen. From everything to the pointless emails, to their unprofessional
One face entered.
attitude, and how they handle older products, eventually, they're going to fail. They're going to mess up
0 people.
so badly. And you know what? When it happens, and Humanware starts
One face entered.
falling apart, don't say I didn't try to tell you. Because the truth is, I did warn you. I mean, seriously, this is just frustrating.
Your top edge.
7
Centered.
years worth of emails, Humanware has not done a thing about
Your right
it
edge.
once.
One face entered. Your top edge. Your top left edge.
I mean, seriously, how can you not see the pattern?
Your left edge. Your top left edge.
I saw it. From 2016 is when I started seeing it.
Your left edge. One face near left edge. Your top left edge.
When is everybody that is still
Your left
supporting
edge.
Humanware gonna wake up
Your top left edge.
realize
Your left edge. Your top left edge.
Humanware is not what it once was? I mean, seriously, how can you ignore that?
Zero people. One face entered.
I mean, seriously. At this point, here's what I have
Zero
to
people.
say. Support Humanware at your own risk.
One face entered.
But when they fail, I'm going to laugh because eventually I'm going to be saying,
Your right edge.
I told you so. And when I referred to Apple Incorporated, yes, Apple has some issues they need
Zero
to
people.
fix, but Humanware is way worse. With Siri and dictation on
One face entered.
iOS 15 it was good. Then iOS 16 came along and it became terrible. But what I'm saying is, here's what's sad. Everybody's drinking Humanware's Kool-Aid and they don't even know what the flavor is. I do. The flavor is inevitable failure. And you're just blindly going along with it? Wow.
One face entered.
I mean, really, what more can I say except wow? At this point, Even I hope eventually that DBS will wake up and realize what I've been seeing from Humanware. I saw a pattern
0 people.
in 2016. That's when it started.
1 face entered.
I mean, seriously. My question is, how can you not look at that and be like, are you kidding me? Eventually, Humanware's bound to fail. What a shame. The YouTuber I just
1 face entered.
called out for blindly going along with it. What a shame. He's not going to be able to see it coming. Because he's too busy drinking the Kool-Aid that Humanware puts out. And you know what's frustrating? Here's what's crazy. He got a Victor Reader Stream 3.
0 people.
And you know what? When me, Rich Beardsley, and the Evil Chocolate Cookie agree that Humanware's terrible with their older products, here's what's crazy. If 3 YouTubers are telling you, if 3 YouTubers are in agreement that Humanware is failing, that should tell you something. That should tell you right there that Humanware is bound to fail. And the fact that I even wrote a Microsoft Word document
0 people.
exposing that failure, that should definitely
1 face entered.
tell you something.
Near top edge.
I mean, seriously,
Near left edge.
that should tell you.
Near top edge. Centered.
This is a joke
Near top edge.
in every proportion.
Upper core. Centered. Near left edge. Near top edge.
And I've got to say,
1 face near top edge.
if you want to support Humanware, go ahead. At your own risk, of course. But when I
Centered.
request a note taker from DBS,
Near left edge.
I've said it before and I'll say it again. It will not be a Humanware product. It will not. Because of what I've been seeing.
Centered. Near top edge.
So here's my advice. Stop drinking the Kool-Aid and wake up. And
0 people.
realize
1 face near left edge. Near top edge.
that Humanware
Near top left edge.
is gonna fail. You know what that's like? If you don't wake up and realize? It's like you're driving a car with a blindfold on and with your blinders on. Maybe, here's my advice. Why don't you take the blinders off and take a good look for yourself?
1 face near top edge.
And you know what? I think it's time for the blindness agencies to wake up and realize that.
Near top left edge.
Sure, back in the early days when Hims Inc. was trying to figure out how to make products, the materials were cheaper back then and they had problems. But I think they figured
Near
it
top
out
edge.
now.
Near top left edge.
I mean,
1 face entered.
seriously,
Near top left edge.
how can
Near left
you
edge.
not see that?
Center. Take picture. Take picture. Take picture. Take picture. Stop. 24. Stop recording video. Button.
I mean, me personally,
Near right edge.
I'm
Centered. Near right edge.
When my Victor Reader track malfunctions in a few years,
One face near right edge.
that's when I leave Humanware high and dry. I'm serious. I've had enough and I'm done.
Take picture. Stop recording video.